Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 19, Day 6. Have I had the week wrong this entire time? Or did I accidentally put it as the wrong one earlier? Well, some kind of week, some kind of day. It is a brown day. And Dragon's Claw next week, that means Dragon Soul will be available. And he is still the only dragon in the kingdom over there, so it's going to be the only thing within the event key drop pool that is a legendary, so it's going to be really easy to get yourself a Dragon Soul. So definitely if you haven't already gotten a Dragon Soul, event keys are going to be really good. Also, this is going to bother me now. Did I just have that wrong for one day? That's weird. I had yesterday, for whatever reason, when I switched it, I turned it to week 16 instead of day 19, so the title for mine today was wrong as well. Let me go fix that. I was gonna say, like, wait, that's wrong. Whoops, I did that yesterday incorrectly. No one even noticed. Well, I don't even notice. Lose track of how many weeks it's been. But no, that is the correct amount of weeks. Technically, it's even 2 more weeks than that because there was 2 weeks off where Guild Wars didn't happen, but oh well. Anyways, I fixed the other one, or I think I fixed it, unless it didn't refresh. Come on, game, refresh. Okay, but anyways, let's go do our Guild War battles. Yeah, I did refresh. And go on from there, do the dungeons, all that. If you guys have any teams you want me to do, anything you want me to go over, let me know. We are definitely going to be going over the new event, of course, the new troop. It's actually kind of unique. Well, not kind of unique. There's a troop very similar to it, Dark Maiden. But, not counting Dark Maiden. It's a kind of interesting troop. Has really cool troop art, too. Anyways, it's a brown day, so let's go use our pure brown. Gorgoltha, Emperor Corvash, King Highforge, and Famine, sticking with the classics. I don't believe we really have many alternatives to this that we're really going to bother with that can win in Bracket 1. We did end up having everyone in our guild actually participate, and as of this current moment in time, we are actually in 5th place, surprisingly. Hopefully we will be able to hold that 5th place, but as of this current moment, we are indeed in 5th, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's good. We're actually the only person in the entire guild who has not done the Guild War battles yet today. I think this might be the first time ever where we were the last ones to do them, but this will be our final score then. And assuming the other guilds don't do their battles, we will stay in 5th, hopefully 6th, so we get that extra 100 gems. But anyways, let's get into it. Hello, Henny, welcome. Wait, now I'm starting to forget your names. That awkward moment of forgetfulness, but welcome. Welcome. Let's see, actually, let me go through all the peoples. Hello, Lowlight. Hello, Maximuse. Hello, Vicky. Hello, the Beer Baron. Hello, Henny. Hello, Gillax. Hello, Strawn. Hello, Mental Case. Hello, Herberto. Welcome all. 7,145 points in Guild Wars. Sounds pretty good. Nice. And hello, Pandemonium. I forget all the things. Okay, let's go and just Highforge that. I'm not really concerned about him hitting us with a skull, particularly against a Gorgoltha. Unless it's a Scion, I don't really need to worry about it. So we'll take a brown right there, get their Famine ready. We do have Corvash available. And we'll just throw it. Also, something that's kind of funny, they gave me the access to the most recent beta. And this time they actually gave it to us. Because the previous patch they didn't, even though we still played it. But long story short, they did give it to us. So not quite sure how much longer until the next update. Hopefully soon-ish. I haven't really been playing on it though. I've been meaning to, but didn't really get around to it. Most of it, at least as far as what's currently on it, appears to mainly just be bug fixes that they wanted us to test. To make sure that everything was indeed working correctly. And kind of see what the new balance was. Let's see. Well, we'll throw the Corvash down. And this stun goes on him. I think the mana drain even shifted over to him as well. Of course, that didn't have any effect, though, because he already had no mana. I'll just move that over then. And what do we move down? I guess we take a green into the extra turn up there, just for the sake of getting some mana. Famine is enough mana, or enough damage. I thought it wouldn't be. Not enough to kill out the Queen Mab, though. Would have been one off, but still enough to kill that one. Then we could just Corvash for the kill, and that is match. Go, Corvash, go! Hello, Amanda. Welcome. Did you miss the Guild Wars? Nope, that was just the first battle of it. You came just in time. Hey, 6,900 on the dot. 69. And yeah, we just did the first battle. Actually, we're doing the last battles of the guild for, I think, the first time ever. Normally, we're not the last. And this is as last as you can do them, too, because it's Sunday, so... we're the final 5 battles of the Guild War week. Not like it really matters when you do them, for the most part. I'll go take the right over. As long as I get done before the Sunday resets, or Monday reset, I should say. Go move that over. Also, I get to have more sleep on Monday soon when the time gets rolled backwards, because the time in the game doesn't actually change. Because currently, I stay up all night every single Sunday night in order to do the event videos and stuff for Monday, just so I can get it out and kind of relax on the Monday morning kind of area and sleep in. That's normally the biggest day that I sleep in, actually, if I do it all during the night. And because of that, I'll... wait, what was I just going on about with it? Wait, there was some kind of point I wanted to make. Oh, with the hour moving back soon, I'd be able to get that done a whole hour earlier, because of course right now I can't do it until 3 a.m. at the earliest, and then it normally takes me an hour or two, sometimes 3, depending on how awake I actually am doing everything. But it'll take like a few hours, and then I'll like go to sleep. But then when the time gets rolled back by an hour, the game time still is exactly the same, so I'll be able to start it at 2 a.m. So I'll be able to get it done even quicker. So that'll be nice. It's like that for half the year. Unfortunately, it's not like that now. Let's see. We'll go take the purple. Go and I guess we'll throw a famine down. I can't actually target either of those two, though. I'd have to go for the Christine X, and that is enough for cleanup off the High Forge, so I guess that still works out. Purple into blue, or blue into purple. There we go, blue into purple, because we get the extra turn because it moved it perfectly. And then we could just Corvash into a Gurgolfa into Corvash into almost win. We're actually a little magic short, but it'll be close enough. We'll throw that again. Nice. Oh, never mind. That skull double. Oh no, never mind. That double skull didn't help us at all to what we were about to go do. Okay, and it comes nowhere's close, so we'll just throw the Corvash, and now we can poke it with anything, and that'll be match. So, well, other than Gorgolfa. Wait, is there enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do I trust this to hit every skull on the board? Probably not, because that skull's in the corner. That skull's pretty close to the corner, same as those. I don't trust it. Though I'm so... Okay, we'll try it. Oh, we got it! That got us like 10 more points by doing that. Although we would have probably lost like 20 if I didn't do it. Or if it missed, I mean. Hello, Timothy! That is a very long hello. Oh, what was that about testing? Oh, I have the beta version to test for next version. I haven't really been testing it much, though. It seems to mainly just be bug fixes and stuff, which is what the community has been asking for. Not quite sure if they're going to be developing even more stuff, but yeah, we have gotten it to test a couple things. Just haven't been doing it much. You still think you know the good best teams for Guild Wars yet? Or you still think you don't know? I could do another video going over that soon. I'm waiting until, before I do the next big video going over it, I'm waiting till they eventually add the Guild War change that's going to be making the defend teams different. Because as this current moment, there's basically the same like 4 or 5 defend teams being used. And once the update comes, there's going to be around anywhere from 20 to 50-ish different defend teams being used. So what you do now will not be applicable then, which is one of the reasons I was kind of waiting for that. The previous video I did on it is still perfectly up to date, so I haven't really had a need to re-update it yet. But once they finally changed it, that one feature in Guild Wars, it will become applicable to do another one. Hello, Headless Chicken! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Okay. What do we really need to move around here? Brown and yellow is the ideal thing to take, so I guess we take the skull and hope for a brown, which we don't get. But there's our yellow, so I'll take it. He will probably get that. Yes, he will. Wow, we might lose right here. Okay, good. He did not get the Devour. Well, taking the blue is pointless. Let's just go throw that down. Got the mana we need. We have Corvash. The only problem is the Kraken that is usable is not within Corvash range. So we are most likely using the... or going to lose our Famine. I would have to green extra turn somehow to save it. I could take the brown, hope it surges, and also hope we get a green right there. Didn't get it. Oh, famine! Why couldn't you cast one turn earlier? Well, this could possibly be a lose. That one Kraken is most likely to destroy us once he casts a few more times. One thing I can do right now, though, which might help us, is if I can accumulate enough mana on Corvash constantly. Oh, there we go. Nice. I can now disable all of his capability of Krakening us. So now that he can't Kraken us, we should be somewhat safer, kind of, not really. We also have Skull resistance against him, so hopefully that'll be enough. No Drain that can hit that Queen Mab, which is quite unfortunate. So let me cast this so we don't take as much damage. Good, he does not die because of that. Really good. We'll probably have to buff up our Goltha, most likely. So we'll just throw some mana right there. So we can try killing this thing already, the Queen Mab. Still going to be slightly off, I believe. Let's see. If we boost ratio, that's 12. 41! No! That awkward moment when you're 1 damage off. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts so much. We're 1 damage off of killing it. No. Okay, well, we'll take the skull, and now we can Corvash it at least. Not all hope is lost. There we go, and now we win. Oops, that was actually pointless to take. Oh, no, it wasn't. It gave us a skull. Well, based on what was currently on the board, that was pointless to take. We just got lucky with the skull. When Trolls gets mana in this Kraken team, you always lose. They're going to be nerfing how 4 times work, I believe. They're going to be reverting it back to its original state, like how it was before the Unity update. That was only our 3rd battle? Well, 2 more to go with these. Score is okay so far. And no, there's no way we could take 4th. The only thing we can do by doing these battles is securing our 5th or 6th. As long as we keep at least 6, it doesn't really matter if Druid to the Glade passed us. Actually, I believe we're up against them right now, aren't we? No, Martha's Guardians. Where are Martha's Guardians these days? They're all the way in 8th, so I guess we're safe from them. As long as Power Gems did all their battles, and then Druid will pass us probably during this stream. We're actually basically facing someone right now to see which one of us score higher. Because I believe they have at least one person doing battles right now, because they're basically like going side by side to us. So we'll see at the end of the stream if they're actually past us or not. Probably. Wait, so 4 times speed is being removed? No, 4 times speed isn't being removed. I didn't mean reverted like that. I mean the 4 times matches. Oh, did I say 4 times speed? I meant to say 4 times the mana surge on 4 times will likely be removed. So I'll just let the skull get taken right there. Okay, well, we'll take the brown. The main reason for that is extra turn spam and stuff like that. It's just way too strong with it. Oh, he's actually smart. He put the Wisp in a different location so you can't double Corvash it. Because I know most people run it as a Wisp KrissTigger Queen Mab. And then on a brown day, you can just use Corvash to disable it. But he knew because everyone's using Corvash to disable it, he put the KrissTigger in second instead. So that was a good call on his part. Still gonna lose though. Let's see. We'll throw another Corvash. We already got Famine, so it's almost impossible to lose at this point. And that was pretty lucky as well, what just happened there. I'll take it. We'll throw that down, keep them stunned. Not like stun really matters too much, but at least we can't get frozen if nothing else. We have a Famine. We could throw that soon TM. Don't really need to throw it at the moment though, so we'll just go move that down. Oh, it's still extra turns. Oh, come on, it just cleansed now when it can actually get good freezes down. You can stop now. You can stop now. Well, that just minused us like 200 or 300 points, unfortunately. What he just did there. We don't use purple, do we? I'll just take that then. I was hoping for a skull off the top, but oh well. We'll go get another Corvash. Famine him down, go from there. Don't get all your mana. Stop it, stop it. Okay, we can High Forge into a Famine. Actually, let me take a brand first. I'll guarantee everything. So now we essentially just win. We Corvash, we High Forge. We Corvash, and then we Famine. And even without the boost ratio, that would still be enough. There we go. And now for the final battle. Let's see. Alchemist, Hellcat, Goblin Rocket, and 2 times the Goblin Rocket. Yeah, you can infinitely loop with that. It's the best early game infinite loop team. Yeah, well, to answer your Ricky, to answer your question, Ricky, what he said is basically it, yeah. I've been wanting to do that on my Let's Play account too. I only think I have the Alchemist from it. Generally, Hellcat's the hardest aspect of it to obtain, but you run it with a Goblin, or it's a Alchemist. It's an Alchemist, Hellcat, double Goblin Rocket. You need Goblin Rocket's first trait. It's also ideal to have Alchemist's second trait, though not required. You only need both of the two. You only need the two Goblin Rocket traits to be able to make it work, or you know, the two of them to both have the one. As soon as you get the first trait on them, you'll have it unlocked on both. But you just run with that. You run it on a double yellow, like mentioned. The reason for the double yellow is so if you get a 5 times a yellow, it gives a full Hellcat, and then you just keep looping between Alchemist, Hellcat, throwing down the Goblin Rockets, and you basically instantly win against every team in the entire game. You could fight someone like 10 times your team score and still win if you happen to have that team fully created. Tacet needed to put on a pair of sunglasses. He had conveniently off camera before he said he's still going down. That could work. That would have been pretty funny. I actually don't have any sunglasses near me though. I don't even know if I own sunglasses these days. Mainly because I haven't really had much of a need for it. Let's see. We'll go and High Forge. You use Humility as you don't have a Hellcat yet. Not as effective, but wins. Yeah, you can use Humility. You can also use a Banshee as a replacement if you want to gain some souls or something. It's a lot less effective, but it is a possibility of something that can also work if you needed more of a budget version. Yeah, that's normally the main thing that people are missing from it. It doesn't work as well with anything other than a Hellcat, but things like Humility, things like Banshee and stuff like that can be used as a kind of minor replacement. You can also try using something that doesn't even have any color related to them, just to make sure that you cover more colors if you wanted to, if you don't have the Hellcat. Okay, so right here we're going to want to go for brown. I'm just deciding how we're going to do that. I see this brown right here, but just want to see all of our options. We have the Corvash. We could hope for a double purple, double yellow, I guess. Well, there's double blue. Not exactly what we needed there, but it did do a double. Now we Corvash, so take that first. Don't want to miss something. And now we Corvash. And Gorgolfa will probably kill him off of skulls. If more skulls would actually come onto the board. Never mind, there's nowhere near enough skulls. And he got all of his mana back, which is bad. Because I don't have... Oh, okay, never mind. Well, now we have the Famine to throw at it. That'll work. Let's start on there. Because we can always High Forge kill him. Which we're going to do right now. There we go. And now all we have to do is kill the 4 HP one. Now 1 HP. Scratch that. He just got reduced. Oh, come on. All those chances to get yellows right there. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 chances to get a yellow. And we didn't get a yellow in either of those 4 locations. We got a skull, a red, a purple, and a green. Oh, why didn't you move? Move. There we go. And, I didn't even need Gorgolfa to kill it. Wow, you're doing really good on the HP reductions for once. And that entangles us, so we can't actually use skulls until we cleanse that. I'll wait on the Corvash just for a little bit. So we'll throw down the Corvash right there. Explode all that. And that kills most of them. And that is match off the High Forge. And down he goes. Oh, perfect. And that is our... Wait, did we just get a +0? Why did it say +0? Or I was looking over at chat. Maybe I was looking over at chat and it was adding all the scores while I was doing it. Okay, yeah, it did. I was going to say, +0? What is this madness? I have heard some people saying that it was like glitching like that though. But I'm pretty sure I just happened to look over at chat and then back and it went away. But yeah, we're still in 5th, and we're still at Druid's Glade. So now we just need to hope we stay ahead of Power Gems as well. As long as we go down to 6, it doesn't really matter if we make 4th, 5th, or 6th. All 3 of them give the exact same reward. The only places that matter are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 8th. As long as you place within one of those kind of ranges. Because 7th and 8th are the exact same thing, and 4th to 6th are the exact same thing. So it doesn't matter if you place all the way up there or all the way over here, you're still getting the exact same reward for the bracket. And in many of the other lower brackets, for the most part, other than moving up to have a guaranteed chance next week, you pretty much get the exact same reward. Like if you're in like bracket 3 or 4 or 5, like regardless of if you do, assuming you don't actually move up a bracket, you'll get exactly the same reward. I really wish they would give slightly more incentive to kind of like do something within it, like make 1st within the bracket or something. other than like the little daily things. Because like all these brackets down here, particularly, like there's almost no points, particularly how slowly you move up in brackets. Like anyone below like this area right here, particularly if you're somehow below like the top 100, there's almost no point at all because the most you could possibly move up is 2 each week. So this number won't really ever be increasing, and the only thing you'd really be getting out of it are the daily things. They do need to really incentivize that a little bit more, because all the rewards are just like shifted all the way up here, but then they give almost nothing down there. Anyways, you should hopefully make 6. Let's hope so. Let's go do the dungeons, and then let's go over the new troop, because the new troop is interesting. Will it be overpowered? No. Will it be useful? Yes. Very situationally useful. I believe they're almost adding it as a justice counter, it feels like. Because they did a very particular color to try to counter it out with. Anyways, let me go do the dungeon real quick. So, it is Diamond Day. Should we buy the $5 pack? I think I might skip on it, because they're giving us so many free gems that we're pretty much already there. I was buying it initially just to kind of speed us up a little bit. Let me see. Oh yeah, I didn't claim the thing yet today. We have another 200 tomorrow as well. I don't know if they're going to do anything special for the final day. I would hope so. Maybe we'll get 5,000 shards again. But let me see. Let's go into our... where to go? Go into our... not dungeon. Go into the Soul Forge. And what does that bring us up to? Right over 3,000. So let's count this out real quick. Will we have this by next Sunday? Will we have 4,000 by next Sunday? That will determine if I need to buy this or not. So let's see. If we go and count each day, that is 40 plus the shards. I need to count the shards as well. Oh, I don't know what the shards are on a normal day. I think the amount of shards today, other than the pack, are the same. So it's 400 for the pack, and then there's these other 400, so you can get 800. So that would then end up being 800 times 7. So that would be a solid 50 additional ones. So that's 20 per day, the extra 50. So 20 for the 6 days, 120, 170. And then Diamond Day. Oh no. Actually, even if we buy both of them, that wouldn't be enough. Wait, never mind. We're actually very far away. We are very, very far away. Okay, maybe I won't even bother with it then. Oh no. Well, anyways, let's just go and fight all of them. Let's use a real team though. Let's throw down the pure red team. Should we? Yeah, why not? Let's go throw a quick Element Grim at them. Oh yeah, I forgot guild tasks. Aha. So let's see, 190. I knew that was a bit short. 150. It's still not going to make it though. 190 plus 150. That's 340. And then, yeah, that's nowhere near 1,000. But then again, we'll have the other 200, so that's 540. And that's still nowhere near the point we need to get to. Okay. Well, we'll go move the purple over there. Take down the blue. And we'll throw down the browns. Double the purple. Darkness. Darkness. And that's pretty much match. There we go. You still need to farm almost 500,000 souls. Yeah, it can take quite a bit of time, that is for sure. And there we go. There's our other 80 diamonds. Oh yeah, I forgot to count that as higher too. I keep forgetting. It gives 80 diamonds on this day instead of the normal 20 I believe it normally gives. Oh, you know what? We will buy it. This is probably the last one we're buying though. I allocated about $50 to buying them if we truly had to. It is a lot of money to throw at it though. This would bring us up to, I think, we did 25 already. So this would be $30 so far into the new mythic. Is it worth it? Probably not. But I'm doing it for the video. We're not going to make anywhere near $30 off the video though. Wish we would. But we'll just throw it down. Okay, well, we'll go take the reds. Oh yeah, you have to beat the dungeon first to get the 50 gem pack thingy. The one that lets you buy it for 50 gems. If you don't do the first battle, it doesn't let you do it. Alright, we'll double our browns. And what else do we need to throw? Move that over. Do we double purple or Element Grim? We'll just double the purple. There we go, nice. Element Grim. And move the brown, double the brown. Darkness. Oh, that miss. This doesn't really matter. It's not like it's a real battle. Though he is getting a lot out of it, that is for sure. How did that not full anything manas? Too far away. We'll go throw that down. Double the purple. I did not get full mana on anything, but that will do it. Oh, you did beat it, but it's not showing? You might want to report that as a glitch to them then, through support. Wait, why does the final battle give 30? Has it always been like that? Shouldn't it be 40? Because it was 50% chance of gaining... Oh wait, where's that more than normal? Oh no, has this always been 30? Why does it feel different? Oh no. For some reason I thought that was 40 earlier. Could just be me going insane. Yeah, it did used to be 40, right? I'm not just going crazy, right? Okay, anyways. We'll go and move that over. Yeah, the normal gems and the diamonds look very, very, very excessively similar. I hope they change the icons for one of them in the future. Preferably the diamonds. They basically look like the exact identical icon, which is really confusing. I might just need to do a video on the future. Whenever they finally do the interface change, and if they happen to leave it like that, I'll need to do a whole video dedicated just to what the difference between a diamond and a gem is, because they look like the exact same thing, almost. And there we go. Well, that's all of our battles then for that. We already got all of the things that we needed. And yeah, that does bring us very, very close. I think we should be able to get it by next Sunday then to do the video. That's basically going to be a $30 video then, with how much we put into it. But it'll be worth it to show it. And that will be before most people get it. So it'll be relevant for all of you guys. So we can test it out, see everything that it can do, what its potential is within teams. Because just seeing it and actually using it are two completely different things. But we'll go and go upstairs. That's what I meant to do. But while we're here, might as well check. Can we craft every single weapon in the game right now? We can almost craft every weapon in the game if we wanted to. We would need 40 of every single color to be able to do that. I'm somewhat tempted to do it just for the sake of completionist purposes. But there's currently really no point in unlocking every single one of these. Though there's currently nothing else to really do these colored gems on. So you know what? I might actually do it. I want to do them all in one fell sweep though. If I was to do it. Because it would be more enjoyable that way. So we would need to make sure we have 400 of every single color before I bother with that. And we are still like 2 weeks away from doing that. Because our blue value will not get to 400 for another 2 weeks. Not next week, but the following week. It's not really that big a deal. It's not like we're even showing anything with these. Or I'm probably not going to. They have very little purpose, every single one of the epic weapons. Only some of the gold weapons and the mythic weapon is like basically the mythic weapon. It's about the only thing really excessively worth it. Or, you know, that's actually good. I don't mean like worth it. It is really questionable if you would use the words worth it on that. Due to how hard it is to actually obtain. But we'll go convert that over. And that does bring us up to 3,340. Then we have the extra 200 tomorrow. And then that pretty much brings us right on top of the amount we need. We'd be very, very close because we'd get the 150 from the guild as well and all that. So yeah, I believe next Sunday or next Saturday, probably next Sunday because that's Diamond Day, we should hopefully have enough to buy him finally. You have 170k souls burned through 250 last week. 250k you mean? Or 250? Where did you spend 1 million souls? Oh, I spent it on the weapon that costs 1 million souls. And the thing that costs 1 million souls is where our million souls went. The Dawnbringer. We spent 100,000 on these. Or we basically went through 1.6 million souls between everything that we had to do. We needed to craft these 3 weapons for Xenos, which is what we're trying to get all the diamonds for. We needed these 3 weapons. Alright, this one, and that one for the mythic weapon. And that costs another 300,000, 100,000 each. And then we needed 1 million for the Dawnbringer. So within this expansion, we have spent 1.6 million souls for all of the new content, which we actually had. Surprisingly, we actually had every single one of those souls. Once they add more content, then we won't, but we can farm about 50,000 souls per hour with the best method in the game. You can actually go a little bit quicker than that. So it is definitely quite possible to, if they did release a whole nother kind of thing where they had 3 100,000 weapons and a 1 million weapon, it would technically be possible for us to do that. At 50,000 souls per hour, that would come out to, I believe, 26 hours, right? Let me see, 26 times 50,000. Yeah, it would take 26-ish hours to do that, which is a very, very long amount of time. And if we were to do that, maybe we'd stream it. But I asked earlier, people said they actually did want me to stream it if I was going to farm my souls like that for like the new mythic or whatever, or, you know, new mythic weapon, if we happen to do it. But yeah, it would take 26 hours of constantly using triple Farish Raw Valkyrie in order to get enough to get another mythic weapon, or just to get one in the first place. It would take, let me see, how many would it take if you use the basic team, which is triple Warlock with a Valkyrie? If you use triple Warlock with a Valkyrie, it takes an absolutely absurd amount of time. It would take you 65 hours to get the 3 weapons plus the actual mythic weapon. So for most people, that's probably pretty unrealistic. Though people who have thousands upon thousands of hours in the game, maybe not as realistic. But it isn't definitely not the most exciting thing to do, constantly throwing down like triple Warlock Valkyrie or triple Farish Raw Valkyrie. It's a pretty straightforward team that has no variant, since you keep throwing it against like an Explorer challenge for the quickest rates. So you don't really get much variation with it. In like 1 or 2 hour bursts, it's pretty easy to do though. There was at one point where I did it like 1 hour every day for like almost a month. I haven't really been doing it much lately. Why Valkyrie and not Dragon Soul? Because they fixed the glitch with double Dragon Soul cast. Because if you're running Dragon Soul triple Warlock, it is not worth it anymore. There used to be a glitch where if you cast Dragon Soul twice, which would give you a total of not the max amount of souls, it would count your win as the max amount of souls. It is no longer viable to do it, because before it used to give the same rate or even quicker, but now it gives less than triple Warlock Valkyrie. So it's always better to use the Valkyrie variant. The only variant of Dragon Soul that might still be worth it, though it does cost more resource-wise, is to use Dragon Soul triple Azurus with everything fully traded. Well, particularly your Azurus. I guess Dragon Soul doesn't have to be, but with your Azurus fully traded. That may be quicker than Valkyrie triple Warlock, but there really isn't much point in building that, because once you get your first Farish Raw, you then switch right back to Warlocks with a Valkyrie and then the Farish Raw, because the Farish Raw would work a lot better within the context of that team than it would if you tried putting in the Azurus Dragon Soul team. Anyways, let me go and show the new troop coming next week. Actually has some really nice troop art, though it doesn't everything in that kingdom. But this one in particular, let me go open it up real quick. And let me go bring it up. Let me see, let me zoom in and show the new card coming tomorrow. Let's see, Guild Wars window, that should be it. And there it is. Okay, so the new card coming in tomorrow. Let's see, he is Asha with the Dragon Lore ability. Convert all blues to a chosen color. So as I mentioned, this is basically a higher mana cost, what's her name? Now I just forgot it. Dark Maiden. A higher mana cost Dark Maiden. Dark Maiden, of course, didn't always have the ability, but it was eventually changed to convert all yellows into a color of choice. And this is basically the same thing now. This converts all blues into a color of choice. So it's going to be really good against just this team. It's going to be really good against any team with a Valkyrie. and that's about the only teams that really use spam blue. And I guess it could be good against a Kraken team if you're up against like a Kraken Giant Spider or a Kraken Wisp team with like a Christine X in it or something. So those are probably the two biggest teams. Justice team and Kraken related teams are going to be the two biggest counters that he's going to be used for. He also uses the same mana as Kraken, interestingly enough. And he also enchants a random ally and gives them 3 magic. And to my understanding, it would be the same ally that gains both the enchant and the 3 magic, which would be decent, because of course if you're enchanting it, that gives it a higher chance that it would indeed be able to actually cast its ability, and you get a decent amount of value on it. I assume it cannot hit himself, though by the wording, it seems like it can hit himself. It'd be a lot stronger if it didn't, because he doesn't actually have anything that scales based on magic. And other than that, his traits are pretty average, with the one exception being the fact that he has Magic Link, which is a +1 to purple. One thing to note is that Dark Maiden has the same thing. So Dark Maiden compared to this thing is still way, way quicker. But there are instances, like of course against blue spam teams, that you would end up using this. Though in almost every other instance, Dark Maiden would technically be better due to the fact of it's a lower mana cost, plus it has a, it still has the link similar to this. Because if Dark Maiden didn't have the link, but had the 2 lower mana costs, this troop would technically be better with the magic link. But since they both have the link, Dark Maiden is still a little bit ahead of this. And as many of you probably know, Dark Maiden doesn't really get used that much. It might just be because people have shifted away from yellow. So maybe after Asha gets used a lot, people will start shifting away from blue. It's definitely a really nice troop. It's going to be usable pretty much always. It's not going to ever become like meta, as in used in literally every team you ever use. But it's going to be a nice counter to some things that are really strong right now that are probably bothering quite a few people, other than infinite extra turn spam. That will be addressed in the future. There's no troop they could really add that can really counter infinite turn spam. But at least this will help counter Justice Team, Kraken, and a few other instances where blue are really high priority. Also, I believe the Merlantis Kingdom also focuses on blue. So this is also low-key probably a counter for next kingdom as well. You do have to keep in mind that originally Merlantis was planned to come out before this troop was ever released. So they probably were expecting this to counter out something that's coming in Merlantis. So keep that in mind as well. So this troop might be decent enough that you might want to get it to Mythic, or maybe Legend, or if you have a lot of resources anyways, you might want to get it up pretty far, because I do have a feeling this will counter out most of the Merlantis troops pretty well. Actually, I can go check. The troops that go over Merlantis, or actually over here, we can go check real quick. If we go over to Future Kingdoms, yeah, blue, 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 blue. Basically all of Merlantis, except for 2 troops, are blue. And boosted by blue gems. Yeah, this thing was supposed to counter out Merlantis Kingdom. That would make sense, because this was originally planned to come like pretty much immediately after it. So that does make perfectly sense that it is set up like that. So yeah, definitely a really solid troop. Might even be more stronger in the future when more troops come in that are good with blue. So looking forward to it. Definitely get it. And don't forget to use event keys next week. You won't only get more copies of him, possibly to Mythic, but you also get a Dragon Soul if you haven't already. Also, do keep in mind, one extra benefit about event keys next week is, unlike most event keys, there actually is a Mythic within the event key drop pool. It is Elamagrim. And as many of you know, I do run Elamagrim in quite a few teams. He is one of the best infinite looping troops in the game right now. Not only does he have immune to freeze, which helps out a lot with it, he basically has the ability to reduce down the enemy's attack to 0 really easily. And he also has just a really, really huge ratio of gems that he ends up increasing based on burned enemies. If you can burn an entire team, he can do a 12 gem spawn, which is currently the highest amount of gem spawn that can be infinitely spammed over and over again on any troop currently in the game. Other than, well, actually, no, there isn't anything else. To starring, it can only cast once, so he doesn't really count. But yeah, Merlantis, Elamagrim is also available next week in event keys. Don't, like, spend, like, all your resources trying to get it. But if you're already opening up event keys to try to get more Dragon Souls, do keep in mind Elamagrim is a possibility as well. Just don't overextend if you've already gotten your Dragon Soul to Mythic. If you pretty much already have Dragon Soul to Mythic, there really isn't much a point in throwing event keys next week. But do keep that in mind. Also, if you're wondering why I keep saying to use event keys on the Kingdom, it's mainly because Dragon Soul is so insanely good. It's Has a lot of mana generation, damage, and it gains souls. It's one of the most well-rounded troops in the entire game. Or I should say the most powerful, well-rounded troop in the game. And that should be match. And there we go, as you can see. And that's what Grim does. Could you link to the... Oh, sorry, let me go get the link for that. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. Henny just posted it. But yeah, let me go post another copy as well. Let's see. Yeah, there it is, right there. There's the full spreadsheet. You use the little tabs on the bottom to navigate to like where the upcoming kingdom troops are and everything like that. But yeah, all that's posted right there. Both of us posted the link. Use either one. They both go to the same location. Hey, look, mirror battle. I didn't even notice that before I clicked. Or actually, I did. You know, I barely noticed it. The mirror. I wouldn't really advise defending with this team, but it's definitely a really solid invade team, that is for sure. The problem with it on defend is the AI will not use it correctly. Or I assume it doesn't. I don't know if I've ever actually tested to see how it would work on defend. I just assume it wouldn't work. Maybe it does. We'll go move that over. Get yourself a double purple. Grim it. Ooh, that miss. Ooh, that miss. Let's see. Does he get it? Nope, he misses too. We're both going to keep missing. And as you can see, he has 0 attack. And our attack is also reduced like crazy due to what we're using. Also, if you don't have Infernus, you can use Euro Fire Mantle instead. It's not as good as using an Infernus, but it would still get pretty much the same thing done. It's just slightly less effective. Also, you get to use the color of yellow if you have Infernus. If you use Euro Fire Mantle, you're going to be missing a whole additional color. And the team already uses very minimal colors. It only uses 4 of them. It completely misses blue and green. One thing to note about that too is it's pretty bad against the Wisp, the double Wisp, Kraken, KrissTigger team. It's pretty bad against that because that team creates a lot of color that you don't actually get to use. So if it starts getting a lead on you, you're most likely going to lose against that team. Though in all fairness, a lot of teams will lose to that team, so it doesn't really make too big of a difference. Where do we move? I could try doubling purple. It's probably going to miss though. I want more purple on the board before I do it. I'll have to be good enough. 2 more. Good. Come on, cast! Cast already. Oh, I should have taken that skull. Guess it doesn't matter much. Looks like we pretty much already looped into the win, other than that last little bit of damage. At least we'll be able to stock up on Venoms. Oh yeah, you'll definitely be able to stock up on Venoms next week. Kraken will be the highest priority. Hey, we just got a green-blue arcane. Speaking of arcane trait stones, yeah, let me go over what green-purples are actually worth it. Of course, we'll do it again tomorrow in the video, if I remember. I actually forgot last week to go over what to use the color for. I need to make sure I remember to do that. I normally mention it right at the beginning of the video, but if I forget to normally mention it right at the beginning of the video, I forget to do it at all these days, because normally I do it right at the beginning of the video. Sometimes what happens if I fail so many recordings, because sometimes I'll like fail recordings initially where I'll like mess something up right at the intro, and because I'll already say like this is what you use the trait stones for, I will sometimes forget that I didn't say it in the current recording, and then I won't end up saying it. That has happened a couple times, and it happened last week. It's because I do like so many initial recordings kind of the intro just to get it nice and solid, because I tend to fail the intro a lot. I don't know, but because of that, I'll sometimes already say a part of the video that I haven't mentioned yet in like the actual recording, and it's like, oh, I'll be thinking like, oh yeah, I already mentioned it, but then it's like, oh yeah, it was the previous recording that I was doing that mentioned it, not the current one. Anyways, let's go and green purple. Let me go sort. Oh, never mind, we're already under green, so let's go find the green purples. I wish there was a way to sort by color. Baba Yaga, not worth getting, trading. It's very situational when you use it, and its traits barely do anything. Dark Song you don't get. As weirdly as it may seem, Boar Rider actually is decent to go and trait. The only trait that he has that is even remotely worth it is his last trait. But if you're happen to be using him within the context of all Goblin team, he only costs 2 arcanes to be able to get up. Wait, what's this base rarity? Yeah, 2 is what I thought. He only takes 2 arcanes to go all the way up, so it could be a good use if you're arcanes there. Dark Priestess doesn't really need it. Dark Song definitely doesn't need it. Dragon Net doesn't need it unless you happen to be using it in some kind of weird team. Basically no team realistically uses a Dragon Net traded, or really even a Dragon Net at all. So you can skip on that one, even though it's relatively cheap. What other green purples? Hag is one of the most useless troops in the game. Kraken is the 100% highest priority of what you should actually trait. Out of everything in the game that currently uses green purple, this is definitely the one thing you would want to get green purple for if you have one and don't already have it, or even just to save up for out of the anticipation that you may eventually have a Kraken, because you would definitely want to fully trade a Kraken once you get it. Kraken is still very powerful without being fully traded. It just becomes pretty much to the point of overpowered once it is traded. It has immune to stun, so both of these traits get to constantly trigger, and it has the best value for extra turning basically of any troop. Not only does it gain 2 life every extra turn, it also hits 3 damage on all enemies every single extra turn, and this does stack with multiple Krakens. So if you have like 2, 3, 4 Krakens, well, realistically you wouldn't have 4, but if you had like 2 or 3 Krakens on your team, it would trigger twice or 3 times. So you could potentially be doing 9 damage per extra turn. That's almost a cast in itself. Basically, if you do 2 turns, that's like an extra cast in itself with how much damage it can do. It's really, really potent, and definitely the thing you should be putting green purple into. Marsh Strangler is never really used at all. Let's see. Owlif is worth trading, mainly because if you happen to ever need a Dark Storm, I believe it's the cheapest way as of this current moment in order to cast, or that can cast a Dark Storm. The cheapest mana cost to be able to get a Dark Storm onto the board. So it is worth it if you want to do it for that purpose. I believe Plague does use green-purple. I can't remember for sure. If he does, he's okay to trait. The only thing really good about him are his final true traits. But one thing to note is I believe he's the only mythic left that actually has 2 times damage on skulls. I believe all the previous mythics that used to have it got it removed. He's one of the few that surprisingly did not get it removed. Other than that, what else did I miss? I forget if Queen Aurora uses it, but definitely get her fully traded if you happen to have one. She's basically useless without traits, so if you can happen to get her traits, that'd be great. Sea Troll doesn't really use them that effectively, but if you happen to be using a team with him, then it's probably worth trading. Siren, there are a couple of troops that have have empowered off of green purple. These 3 troops, or actually there's only 2 of them that are green purple, I think. No, 3. There's Stargazer, there's Siren, and there's Spirit Fox. Of the 3, Spirit Fox and Siren are the best. Siren is very situational. You generally don't use it in PvP, but what it's used for is basically like a cheaper version, if you can't afford it, of a Princess Elspeth. Elspeth costs 7 arcanes to be able to get, among other trait stones. A Siren only costs you 2. So it's a really, really budget version of being able to get a lot of a color onto the board. It is pretty random, and you would need an enemy to have that color. But it gets some free damage, and it could potentially give you a lot of mana. Could also miss. It's pretty hit and miss. I generally only use it in Explore for that purpose. The most noteworthy team I probably tend to use it in the most, which I don't really use much anymore, but it's Valkyrie, Rowan, double Siren, which works pretty quick for getting quick Explore if you don't have the more effective teams like with Elspeth, Bombot, and all that. It's a pretty good alternative, so definitely Siren. Spider Queen, you don't really need traits on. It's pretty useless for traits. You basically don't even use it to begin with. As I mentioned, there's Spirit Fox and Stargazer, both of which are worth it, though the order I would probably do them in, if you were to get Siren, Spirit Fox, and these 3, would basically be Siren, then you would go for, not Siren, you do Spirit Fox, then you would go for Siren, and then last you would go for the Stargazer, between the 3 of them. All 3 of them have Empowered with an ability that can be cast from the first turn. All 3 of them are definitely worth trading because they each have their own unique utility. Almost every troop in the game that has Empowered is worth trading, so they're definitely good for utility purposes. Teska is useless, Thorn Knight is useless, the Tyrese traits are useless, Unicorn is useless, Venoxia is useless, and I forget if Wolf Garrick uses it, but it's definitely worth trading if it does. And I forget if Yasmin's Chosen uses it, but it's definitely worth it if it does. So basically that leaves it to Kraken as the highest priority, with Spirit Fox as second priority, Siren as third, and Stargazer as fourth. And then you basically just allocate them to whatever else you happen to need, in whatever order you really feel like it. But those are the highest 4 priority. Oh, Yasmin does use it. So yeah, if you got a Yasmin like a few weeks ago, definitely stock up. Also, if you're on console, I believe you get the same event as us. you're probably getting Yasmin soon, like in the next few weeks. I don't believe you guys got her yet. So, yeah, stock up on that trade stone. Forest Guardian, worth it? What do you mean by Forest Guardian worth it? As far as crafting it in the Soul Forge, I would say no. I would not spend 800 diamonds on it. Even if I was on my other account, I wouldn't bother spending 800 diamonds on it. It's not that worth it. It's a nice troop that works in a couple kind of niche teams with beasts, but I would definitely not go and throw 800 diamonds on it. That's just a little bit too much. Is it actually craftable right now? I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, I would not bother with it. I wouldn't bother with all 4 of these. The only thing that's currently craftable that's worth it is Guard's Avatar and possibly Amnesia if you truly wanted Amnesia. But Guard's Avatar is basically the only thing craftable as of this current moment in time that I would say is actually worth it. And oh yeah, I'll make sure to go over these on Monday too when they end up switching to whatever the new ones are. And more people, some people might actually be able to afford the Mythic next week too, which is what we're trying to do with the Xenos. So it will start to become applicable if I start covering the Mythics as well. All the times I covered the Mythics before now have basically not mattered at all because no one can actually afford them. But now people can actually afford them as of next week, hopefully. Queen Aurora is worth it. The main reason I say Queen Aurora isn't worth it is you also need all the trait stones. She's a mythic that you can't use untraded. So she's a little bit of a liability with how much she costs. Because every mythic does require 42 arcane trait stones, 21 of both of their colors, in order to get fully traded. And for some people, that is way too much than what they can allocate for the troop. Like Guard's Avatar, for instance, doesn't need any traits whatsoever to function. He works better, of course, with traits, like pretty much every troop in the game does, but it doesn't actually require it to be able to be used on its own. But yeah, that's one of the factors I normally consider it with it too. Though I do say Fair Shra, but he's kind of useless without full traits too. But that's an exception, mainly because the amount of value you get from him is just insane when fully traded. Craft Mab. Mab is worth it. I don't think she's craftable this week though. Also, I believe another Glacial Peaks event is coming soon. Oh, no, it didn't. We already had one recently. Never mind. It's not coming soon. Scratch that. Scratch that. Actually, what events are coming soon? Let me see. There's, what are we at right now, date-wise? So we have Dragon Claw, which is basically the best event week you could ever have, because not only can you get Dragon Soul as your only legend in the event key drop pull, there's also the Mythic of Elma Grimm, which are both, insanely good troops that get used in probably 50% of the teams I use. Stormheim event, I hope that's a giant. It could make giants great again or something. Actually, they were never great to begin with. Blackhawk event's coming soon. Hopefully they add another pirate, maybe a pirate ghost, that'd be kind of cool. Another one. Urskea, not quite sure. It's probably going to be something pirate related for Blackhawk. Then we have another Urskea. Wait, another Urskea? Didn't we just have an Urskea? We just had an Urskea event, and then not even 1 month later had another Urskea event. Is that really right? What? That seems weird. Oh, no, never mind. It's Urskea Mythic. Never mind, that's not an event. Urskea's Mythic's coming on October 6th. Then it's Pan's Veil. Then it's Drifting Sands. And then Merlantis should hopefully be coming out. So I'll have Drifting Sands pretty much the week when we get the new patch, I would assume. Because generally they do a patch before every single time a new kingdom comes out. So that would make sense that basically 1 month from now or less we should be getting a new patch. Which would make sense because we already got access to the beta version. Normally, if they're doing that, the update's coming a few weeks after. Oh, what's the next event? Next event is Dragon Claw. We already went over the troop 2. It's this thing's coming out. Let me go bring it up real quick. New dragon that we're getting. It's this guy. I'll go over it again real quick. We'll be doing the video going over it in detail again tomorrow, of course. But it's this thing. It's the Asha. Convert all blues to a chosen color, enchant a random ally, and give them 3 magic. It's pretty similar to that of Dark Maiden, except it does it for blue. Blue is more meta right now, though, so even though he's technically weaker than Dark Maiden, as of this current moment in time, he might actually be stronger than Dark Maiden, mainly because he's going to be used to counter 2 particular things that are really good right now, as well as the Merlantis Kingdom in the future when that gets released. But there's 2 things as of this current moment that he counters pretty well, and that is a Justice team, or really any team at all that uses Justice, as well as a any kind of Kraken-related team, particularly Kraken Christine X teams, where they really desperately need blue due to the fact that they overlap on the green there. But he's going to be pretty good against both of those. Kraken because of those blues it creates. And of course, Justice teams, because it uses the Valkyrie and all that. It's also going to be good against basically every team that ever uses a Valkyrie. And since she's one of the most overused troops in the game, this could have quite a bit of potential, since a lot of people do use it. I'm not quite sure if she's still as excessively overused in the past, but for the longest of time, she has been the most overused PvP and defense troop. I believe that has shifted slightly, though we haven't had recent data showing one way or another. But regardless, blue is still pretty heavily used of a color currently in the game, and that might be a way to kind of counter it out decently without having to use like some kind of other convert or something. So it'll work out pretty well. But anyways, that's the new troop coming tomorrow. Also, as I mentioned, it is really good value to throw event keys next week. The only legend in the drop pool is a Dragon Soul, which is insanely good. And actually, let me go do a Dragon Soul related team. The one that I normally mess around with. It's this one. There's actually quite a few variants of it. But normally I just put it with Gorgolfa, KrissTigger, Dragon Soul combo. There are all Dragon teams you can do too, based around generally KrissTigger, Dragon Soul, mainly because those are the strongest two. It's one of the strongest combos actually in the game right now, is Dragon Soul, KrissTigger. Mainly because with a Dragon Soul, you tend to prioritize purple first, and with a KrissTigger, you end up getting crystallized when you go for that purple. So that gives you an additional 4 mana on top of the gigantic amount of mana you already just got from taking the purple off of a +2 purple, +1 red banner. It's also why I call the +2 purple, +1 red banner the Dragon Soul banner, because basically you use that banner every single time whenever you use a Dragon Soul team. So we'll go thread that down. Go take the red to go get that purple extra turn. We're not actually frozen on it, so that'll work out decently. Yeah, that was for a different color. We cannot take that, unfortunately, since we are frozen on the one color. So we'll go take out green right there, get that to fall down a bit, get the extra turn off the purple, and it dies to Dragon Soul. But yeah, Dragon Soul is absolutely insane, particularly if you can get it early on in the game. I hope we get it on our Let's Play account again. That would be really funny. We're definitely going to be trying for it and hope that we land it. But Dragon Soul, regardless, even if you have it at level 1, as long as you use a full team of dragons, it can hit 20 damage to all enemies. So yeah, you can do that as soon as you get it too. Like if you're a level 50 and you happen to get a Dragon Soul, you can start hitting 20s to all enemies as soon as you get it. It is very, very powerful and particularly broken in early game. It's still usable late game. It does lose more. The later you get into the game, the less value you get out of Dragon Soul. It's still used in pretty much every all-dragon team in the game though, simply because of how much it boosts based on having a full dragon team. It is below average in late game though. Like doing 20 damage to all enemies, while that is a really high damage, relative to other values that you can do, like for example, KrissTigger is 24 plus boost ratio, it's not really as much. The main value from it comes from the fact that it gains more explosion as its magic goes up. So it basically becomes a Gorgolfa as you get it up. You can see it does 12. Gorgolfa does do 21, but really you only need about 15 explosions to explode the entire board. So it's a little bit below that point. Maybe in the future there might be a few more Magic Kingdoms that could bring it up to that, but still it's pretty decent. As a newer player, it does do very few explosions though. I believe its minimum is only like 2 or 3, and it doesn't really increase that many too quickly. It takes a while. Probably as a mid-range player, you'd only have about 8 or 9 explosions off your Dragon Soul or so. Somewhere around that range. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I keep not posting that link. Thank you, Henny, for constantly posting that link for me. Yeah. But yeah, that link that Henny just posted goes over all of the upcoming events and everything like that I was reading off of. What teams do you see Asha being used in? I actually do not know for sure what it will be used in. Obviously, it can't be anything too blue-focused. And a lot of what's actually pretty good right now is blue-focused. It might be used pretty well in a brown, red, yellow kind of decks. Mainly because one of the 2 colors that, or basically 3 colors, that brown, red, yellow decks tend to miss are basically the other 3 colors, obviously. Green, purple, and blue. And green and purple is what he is. And then blue is the one that he counters. So like a Alchemist Hellcat Loop kind of deck, I believe is what he's going to be used in. Basically Alchemist Hellcat Infinite Loop with him and then one other troop. I could see having some potential. The loop doesn't actually feed into it though. Because it's not going to be used in Green Seer Giant Spider, that's for sure. But like for example, a team trying to put it into some kind of team similar to like the All Trolls or the Alchemist Hellcat or something like this. With these kind of things, where you're missing that gap between well, this one actually does use the purple, but you're generally missing the gap between green and blue, and since he is green and counters blue, he would end up being a pretty decent troop, maybe as an alternative for a couple of these teams that may be usable. Also, if you're using some forms of Yarl teams, while I personally don't bother using him due to his randomness, he would be a little bit more consistent using using Asha with it. Yeah, any team that kind of focuses on those colors are generally lack basically everything that it covers. So I assume those would be the main things he would be used with. There's also a possibility that a new form of Wisp team will be created out of him, though, which could get really annoying. Because instead of doing the current version of the Wisp team, people will start making an anti-Wisp Wisp team, if that makes any sense. They're basically going to make a variant of a Wisp team that counters out what the current Wisp team does, which is basically double Wisp, KrissTigger, Kraken, sometimes with the KrissTigger in second slot instead. But if people start doing that, it's going to be really annoying. Not only will there be a Wisp team that everyone's going to be using, there's going to be an anti-Wisp team that uses Wisps. I could see that happening. What would be the exact team, though? It would be double Wisp, him, and something that covers 2 colors that doesn't currently get used in that team. I'll probably have to show at least one. Hopefully it doesn't take off too much, though. That would be a really annoying team. I'm not quite sure if it would actually be stronger against the double Wisp, those standard double Wisp team currently used, but it might be used to try to counter the current double Wisp team. That reminds me, let's go use the double Wisp team. The current one that exists. If I have it saved somewhere. I know for sure I have it saved, I just don't know where on earth I have it saved. Is it that other loop? No, it wasn't that other loop. Or was it that loop? No, I don't have that loop anymore. Where is it? That's the other one. 4 times goblins, that thing. Blue drain, rush, You know what, I'm just gonna make it at this point. Where is that Wisp team, though? I know for sure I have that Wisp team. I just don't know where it went to. Yeah, never mind. Well, we'll just go make our own. Just do it from scratch. So yeah, let's go use the Wisp. Oh, speaking of Wisps, I just noticed now that they're using Wisps. Really? Wisp. Wisp. KrissTigger. Kraken. This is the current variant of it, which the new troop should be able to counter decently. It won't be able to handle the Wisps, but it'll be able to counter out the KrissTigger Kraken part of it. Let me go and get the banner for it. Probably just a standard +1 purple onto something else would be fine. Let's see. Is there a +2, +1, -1 that works with this? I can almost guarantee there is. I just always forget what it is. Pretty sure we could get away with just purple-blue, though. Would be perfectly fine. So let's just go with that. Frozen banner wouldn't work, so let's go with that. Get our extra one for it. Oh, why is this meta? Oh yeah, I end up renaming it to why is this meta. Aha, that's why I didn't catch it. Because it used to be named something Wisp before. Then I named it to why is this meta. Because this is really, really out there. The amount of extra turn potential this team has is insane. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Kraken has basically the best troop that utilizes extra turns. Nope, I just gave him so much blue right there. Wisp does nothing as far as damage, but I need it for the better board, which it didn't actually give me. So I'll just take the skull, I guess. Start poking it down. Hey! That was mine. Don't touch it. Oh, and now I get to summon, so I can't even take the thing. But now I actually can do something with the Wisp, at least. Ideally, he will hit the other one. Perfect. Just so we get the extra damage in there. Because now we can still cast Wisp, as long as that stays alive. Oh, double Wisp team is going to kill our double Wisp team. Double Wispception. Okay, that's KrissTigger, so he's going to get a kill right there. So any color that we take related to it isn't really going to help much. But I am still going to do it, because it'll delay him a turn. Oh no, he didn't actually go for it. But we can take that scroll for free. And now we'll kill that out. And now we have to deal with another one of those and have to go and worry about him. Yep, double Wisp against double Wisp. Killing out the entire team. With all of its wispiness. Okay, well, we get that up. We can go try for the follow-up Devour. As long as we get that to land, we'll be good to go. Particularly if it devours. Yeah, there's no point in taking Skull there. There we go, perfect. Hello, Anthony. Welcome. Dragon Soul banner, +2 purple, +1 red, -1 yellow. Yes, you are correct. That is correct. Wait, you don't need +2 purple, though. There's no need to have the extra purple on it. I actually prefer going for the +1 blue, just so we can get KrissTigger up a bit easier. +1 green would also work since it leaks into the other ones. But yeah, we actually don't need that particular combination. That's probably why. There is one that works, but I don't like putting that much purple into it. And the red you don't even normally use. But it would get the wisps up even quicker. I think I will stay with that, though. Just so we can focus on purple more, because we need the purple anyways for the KrissTigger. So let's go try doing that again. Let's see. He has Mercy, so we do have to watch out for that as far as what we take and where we take it. He'll get that for sure. So we're just going to move that over, since there's nothing else we can really do. There goes the Mercy. There goes all the purples we need. No. Not much I can do about it, though, other than pick a different team before the game starts. Okay, he has the main the counter that he did for double Wisp right now, which is, of course, core vashing it. And now he can also target them, though that wouldn't even matter in the first place because he has a Queen map, so he doesn't even need to bother targeting. Taking that would give him brown, so I don't want to do that. We'll take the brown, which we don't use, to try for a blue, which we miss. And he gets the extra turn. And he core vashes again. Looks like he's actually going to kill us with our counter. No! Still have a chance. I'm going to have to give him that extra turn, though. Wow, he has core vash again. Oh, let's go. Oh, I can't even extra turn it either. If I go and do that, it's not going to be an extra turn. Oh, never mind. Yes, it is. Oh, interesting. Never mind, that was an extra turn. I ended up summoning a troop with the KrissTigger that hit into the skull that gave us the extra turn. I don't think I've ever seen that actually happen. That's funny. If you KrissTigger... Well, another reason why KrissTigger is so strong. If you KrissTigger summon a troop and then take a skull when that thing was frozen, he's the one that takes the skull. Or same thing would happen if... Actually, no, that would only happen in relation to skulls. But yeah, if you're frozen on skulls, you summon something in front of it, and then you cascade into a skull with his ability, you get to keep your turn, because this isn't frozen. And it only checks the who's frozen at the instance of when the skull is actually taken, not at the start of your turn when you cast. That's kind of funny. I've never seen that happen before. It's not particularly useful. And, oh, come on. I hate that so much, that he can double kill and then get to drain into the next one. Corvash can actually hit 4 troops, I believe, with that. Or is it only 3? No, it might actually only be 3. But he can double kill and then stun and drain the 3rd troop. It is really, really annoying. That only happened as of recently. That hasn't always been a mechanic. But it is really annoying when it does happen. Well, at least we got all of our mana back pretty quick. That didn't take any time at all. We're also not frozen on that, so hopefully we can win right here. Still a chance. It's going to be Kraken just soloing again, apparently, which is perfectly fine. It getting a kill is decent. All we really have to do now is kill Queen Mab, and we're good to go. I can even just go... You know what? Let's go take a skull. That'll still give us mana anyways. Ooh, Queen Mab already. Oh, if nothing else, we can win off a Kraken. Worst comes to worst. You got this, Kraken. You have won us every battle so far. These battles actually aren't going as good as they're supposed to be going. Mainly because I'm keep fighting basically mirror matches against Wisps, and because we just fought basically the counter to what we're using in that particular instance. Corvash is really good against double Wisp, particularly if both Wisps are in the first slots. Hey, another Arcane. There we go. There's a not Corvash. Oh, here we go. The one infinite loop team against the other. Let's see who wins. Well, that actually has a better potential of infinitely looping. This one kind of does. You have to be really careful where you cast the KrissTigger. Okay, so we're pretty much full mana on everything other than the KrissTigger. So, pretty good start. Unfortunately, KrissTigger is one of the main things we'd actually want to cast. Let's start with just trying to get a Devour, or an extra turn, both of which missed. It did not freeze anything of too big of importance, so we can just go throw these down. And nothing to take. Throw it down again. We can now take browns, which we don't actually use, unfortunately, so we'll take that. Oh, no! Because that one right there, it actually... I was going to try taking double 4 times a brown, but the other one blocked it. And we're frozen on blue, but I still need to take it just so he doesn't get it. Yep, this could end badly, but it is the infinite loop. So we'll go take a blue into the red there. We can't extra turn that because it got frozen. We also can't skull it, so we'll just go and try taking out the green. And then we'll just get the cascade of the skull. He'll probably kill that really soon. There goes our attack, so we now can't skull. There goes the other damage. And there goes Queen Mab. Infinite loop, why must you do this to us? Oops, and there goes the thing off the skull. Well, Kraken, you got this. Get a devour. Show us what you got. There we go. Every win, or every single one of the wins we did in the last 3 battles have basically been solo Kraken winning the game. Though there's a potential we're going to lose this, because he's going to hit damage and then kill us. I can't take that either. That's going to kill us if I take it. He won. No! Rip. That's funny when I start showing this team we lose to literally everything. Though in all fairness, we've been going up against basically the same infinite loops every time. Here we go. Here's something that's not that. If we lose against this, there's a problem. There we go. You've noticed teams with Corvash and Queen Mab constantly get extra turns. They're not really getting extra turns more than any other team. The main problem with them is, or the main reason why they're actually strong, is you can't take extra turns against them because the Queen Mab keeps freezing you. So you have to give them a lot of your extra turn potential. Because you can't take the, like right here, if we were frozen on blue, we'd have to figure out what we'd really want to do with this. Whereas when we're not frozen, we could just simply take it without really worrying much about it. Okay, so off this board, do need to get a shuffle in there. And we get a double kill off that, surprisingly. Unfortunately, we don't actually have any follow-up to be able to do on the following turns with it. So we'll just move that down, get some green. I didn't get the surge, or did we? Actually, we did. I heard the sound. So we got that, get an extra turn. We have double wisp. Come on, Devour. Go, Kraken. Nope, didn't get it. Okay, so we'll just let it do whatever it does. Throw down the double wisp right there. And mainly just trying to get it to hit skulls so we can kill it. Oh, wait, we already just had a skull there. Well, luckily we have a skull here, too. Oh, there we go. Now we have double skull. If that wasn't enough. Yeah, Queen Mab is really, really strong. Fully traded Queen Mab. Well, I guess untraded Queen Mab, too. But fully traded Queen Mab. Best counter to is Impervious, but right now Impervious doesn't even work against Mana Burn. That's being fixed next patch. As this current moment in time, you can't actually use Impervious to stop Mana Burn, which is really annoying. It's one of the reasons why people might be using Queen Mab a bit more, because there's very few troops that actually counter it. One thing to note, though, the troop coming in tomorrow actually counters out Queen Mab, because it does have Mana Burn. It also counters out blue. So, you know what? That might have been another counter that they added it for. I forgot to mention that as one. I'll need to do that for the video. But yeah, that's basically the 3 things it'll be good against. Or the few things. It'll be good against Justice team. It'll be good against any team with a Kraken. It'll be good against any team with a Valkyrie. And it'll be good against any team with a Queen Mab. It's basically the full list of things that the new troop is going to be really good and effective against. Particularly the Queen Mab, because not only does it deny the blues, it can also go and have a mana shield, which currently does work correctly, which protects you against Mana Burn, which basically means it will protect you against Queen Mab. Because when you have immune to Mana Burn on a troop, anything that does Mana Burn, like Queen Mab, will do 0 damage to you, which is quite a big reduction, given that she can normally hit like in the high 30s, maybe even in the 40s when she really gets going, and you can reduce her down all the way to 0. She'd stopped getting used for the longest of times, but she's been making a comeback as of recently. Well, actually, ever since Justice. As soon as the Justice synergy kind of came out, she started creeping back into the meta again. But there was a small period of time where there was no Justice, but also the counter to Queen Mab with all of the Mana Burns that made her basically useless. Okay, now we can just crack into... Oh, that won't be enough unless we extra turn. Come on, extra turn. There we go. We got it. Oh, we got the Devour too. We didn't even need that extra turn. But down it goes. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading off for now. We'll be doing the event video pretty much as soon as the event comes out, a few hours after. I'll probably be getting done the new Mythic Weapon video tonight too, and maybe even one video as well that I'll probably post on Tuesday. Just get it done tonight, so I don't need to worry on Tuesday. So yeah, we'll have all that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be having our normal daily stream as we always do. Tomorrow as well, every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, I do not know if I'll have a redeem code tomorrow, though. Currently, I don't actually have any, so hopefully Salty will supply us with the precious redeem codes, because I'm actually out We should definitely have them again by Friday, but I'm not quite sure if we'll have them for tomorrow. But if we do, we'll give one out. But tomorrow we'll be going basically completely over the event and all that kind of stuff. Everything with the new event. We brushed over it briefly, but of course we'll do the full comprehensive video tomorrow, or on the event objectives and everything related to that. We have mail. Oh, we already got the 6th reward. Hey everyone, go check your mail. The 6th reward is here. The final reward. So definitely make sure to claim it. It is here. Well, that's it for our week of free jewels. If only real life gave me diamonds every day. Sigh. Happy jewel hunting. Yep. So there's the final day of the jewels. It's not really like jewel hunting though. You can't really hunt for jewels. It's so misleading. We can't farm them. Let us farm them. No, they're probably never going to make jewels farmable. But yeah, anyways, the last thing came in. So if you haven't already claimed it, it came in like 20 minutes ago. So go claim it. And what does that bring us to right now as our total before we head out? Oops, and let's go claim that. So that brings our total up to... Also, let me go convert them over. Let me convert them first. Oops, that is not what I meant to go over. I didn't see what I got yet. So let's go craft that. And that brings our total now to 3,550. We'll have another 150 tomorrow. That will bring us to 3,700. So yeah, next Sunday. I think next Sunday. Let's calculate this out again real quick before we go. Wait. So it's 20 per day. Then you add the additional like 50 for the week. So that's 60. Let's see, that's 60. Wait, 20 per day. That's 120. What am I saying? That's 120 plus the 50. That's 170. Then let's see, 170 onto that. So that's 170 onto 3,700. That's 3,870. Where do we get the rest of it from? Diamond Day gives us... It would have to give us 130 we would need. So it gives us 20, 20, 30, 70, 8. We're going to be 20 diamonds short. Wait, if I calculated... no, I forgot the other shards. We'll have enough. We'll have enough without paying more money. Good. So we'll do the event video next Sunday. It would be the time we would do it. So we got the... Or not the event video. The Exynos? I'll figure out how to pronounce it correctly for the video. But yes, we'll have it by next Sunday, the new mythic. So probably this time next Sunday we'll be recording that video to go and put that up for Monday, next Monday. You know, not tomorrow Monday, next week's Monday. Anyways, we'll have that out then. I think we spent like $30 towards it so far. But oh well, it'll be worth it so we can show it early, just so everyone can see what it does. Zathinos. Yeah, close enough. There we go. Yeah, I know, statues for shards. I forgot about the statue shards, which will cover the 20 gap. But yeah, that will cover the gap, the statue shards. I didn't bother counting that, but that will close the gap that I need. Anyways, thank you everyone for coming down. I'll see you all tomorrow night and all that. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you all later. Best of luck with everything. Goodbye.